Samedi kasenmu enchiremu ede ma ode na me sha ase pa ede free Accra High Court na wie nsema free ho a eba chese chairman wontumi ene ogope Ashanti regional chairman ede ma MPP amanoku no ene yese onkoda prison 20 years ha ene ana judge ede amana judge ni chiremu so hwe illegal mining activity galamse ya ene okodi asama boy tanu nimri forest ene je ka ho nyina na we ede di pefi say odi fo awo sa nsem no mu anu tie nesrem sai no ana ye deputy attorney general no kobo ni ko edu na ogine mu awo sa asem we hu nene ana judge no atena asem no so aje say webu na odi na temu aba abonta wa che say chairman untumi edi fo wo sa galamse nsem nti no onko prisoner na onko demu 20 years na sa nsem e ba abonta de abo obi apusa awo manga na hanu mi say asa okopie mu ho a nsentro fo wo ho any lawyers ni bi edi nkomo na lawyer ba ko de na ochiri se osre se atemu ni judge no akonya konte so efama 20 years am odene edi ma peni o chese peni oye business mogula owo businesses ahodo be braga na fo ne ye ejuma wo nti isi na okwa de mu de ebe se ama ne ebe ye ama ne ejuma no bi asese ne ko ba ne sanso aga na fo na ana omu ebe hwero mo ejuma ebe ma ejuma ho nsema kwa atwe de ama o mesa se o chebi se honoma na mafo ye ejuma nya sika e de bom bra nti ne se ko ba ne se dia na ye haw kese pa ana de ba ndo aka osresa anka judge anka o hwe asemi na anka onte JOTM no so e fa ma no ejebu safa che kakra no nti ye pe sa video no ye bebo emrepemu ye sa ka lawyers for na mo ne central for edin kom ne ye hwe sanka ye ne minority uko minority side na omo MP wo hode ma amanfom wo so ame ono aso oye minority lead council edo ukopia Uganda ma shebi de fie edo nkuma no omo lead council lawyer penipa ono no ewo do nkuma no afa a Uganda ma shebi de fie onumanyam for John Dakon oye lawyer oye nim di for pa eba ne emra ehun samana ke peno de need komo eda fa 20 years ya dama chairman wontumi se onko prison esa galamse ehun sense na nka no so no na no di sema wo edema na so ye ba menim se tuma ye ne no ebedi nkomo na onto mu ide ma yentoa ensem no so eza sada jeni poso enu nti galamse ehun sense mi ya nti ana coalition against galamse penipa da no eye Dr. Kenashibe o chiremu se so hwe galamse sense mi ya de ha adwen pa e bom han sensa sensu sensa ewe kwaye ene de eka ka ho nyina anu nti no wose abanwe esore wakapa o se nine months ebo na djuma ana afi ye wo ada anti galamse groups ahodo musu no omudi omudjuma ye water guards nyina no ehwe se ye nsuwa no eni ebete ene de eka ka ho chiremu se akwaye se effort no still e wo form anu nti no onu de osra aban so aban ense mukina pa fight against galamse ni de aban se mukina se na be ya galamse ni betumi ata asedeku kra awo mamu anu se enkankan ne campaigns na omu di eni omu fa manfo omu hye chire fa manfo no se hu behia say ne galamsey betu asa na say o say galamsey akoya yakui say bedum kunim dia na campaigns na ehyehyechiri no omo ana yentu omo so sa na eji anya sa de na e ka se de bia ye storm galamsey sa na ekoyi nkofo de a na ebetu echi no ye besa omo mu hyechi no besa organize nkofo from amasa akoye nti ye hwe campaigns na nke bebo apanta o kire se aban tese embo no hombode mpa no onse dwumedi no emukina pa se na be ya galamsey akono oman betumi edinkunim.
We commend the ministry and its allied agencies for the hard work invested in ridding our forest reserves of red zone since taking office in 2025. That said, a cleared red zone is not the same as a safe forest. Most of our forest reserves remain under vicious encroachment from illegal miners. The sheer scale of the encroachment is more than the Forestry Commission can manage alone. The following cases illustrate the risk that still subsists. The Tiwa Forest Reserve, the source of water for over 5 million Ghanaians, remain under serious threat. We have the Cape 3 Point, critical to the integrity of Ghana's first marine protected area, is also still under threat. The Forest Commission staff were compelled only last Friday to demobilize an excavator operating illegally in the Afua Hills Forest in the beginning forest district. The Draw River Forest Reserve, a beautiful and intact forest in the Jiwa Banso area, is at risk from legal mining concession granted to better land, despite the expression of objection of the communities and landowners who live with the consequence. The threat to our forest is real and escalating. Government must do more than just content with getting rid of the red zones. We ask in the past, and we request again to empower, the government empowers the Forest Commission with resources and adequate officers on the ground to undertake an urgent operation to halt all illegal mining in our forest reserves. Additionally, we remind government of the need to militarize the Forestry Commission. The provision of protected camps in all forest reserves should be sped up. Mr. President, this is also a good time to ask, when are you going to keep your promise of 2016 to make Etiwa Forest Range Reserve the source of drinking water for over 5 million people a national park? Doing this, we believe, will be the greatest legacy any sitting president can leave to his citizens. Number 3, the fight against galamsey is still struggling. We completely disagree with the ministry's assertion in its own conclusion that the era of impunity is over. The evidence on the ground states otherwise. The Eastern region, in the very shadow of the seat of government, continues to exhibit escalating lawlessness with no dedicated action to stop it. From Apedra Junction through to Eveneing, the evidence of impunity is there for all to see.
Yanto asam no so ne enko Ghana mrahye bi fie na onu ma na edonkuma omo onu no e kire se so Ghana wo hwe ye mra na kaka ne Criminal Offences Act no act and Criminal Offences Act 1960 no omo say so uhwema section 207 and afi 208 of this act no yade a ebu ama etena amanfo fa ho de so pa kaka ne free speech say that amanfo benya mo ho no metumi akasa mo kasa bo wo menu mo metumi eyie pie no yade eteta so pa na say hwehwa TikToker ya ye jelly no 1 year ise onkono nkodem Camilla Hassan just no so TikTok videos ejira so a ye de no etum eni nkofo dodo bebre na esa on social media commentary bi ntino ye no so a che o mada atum na ni nyina no ye jira sa criminal section 207 208 our Criminal Offences Act so ani ejira ya ye bo mu kwadu e de omo ye twa omaso wona e de omo kutu efia so e de omo akoto no kire se Mami Hassan Camilla ya ye che ni de ne sentence ni prosecution ya de a omo condemn pa na de omo so kra no ntino se o hwe Ibrahim kra na 206 207 Criminal Offences Act na eye kwan bi so ayese e wo honom no eye kwan bi so aban no fa de criminal libel law no asa ba ade ayi edifru kufo epenso no akoyese kwan bi so e de ba na we no embassy journalist for anokwa na we na akoyese social media commentary bi na ne ebetita amafo fa ho de tete be ya aka aban entwem kra oyin femfiri honom ontwem kra se na be ya ne nkofo be free no omaka omonsem se na ompese omo enka no eni no yentie minority leader Osayena Alexander Fenomaki nesema audit udwa efa to section 206 and afi 207 208 e the Criminal Offences Act no.
on sections 207 and 208 of the Criminal Offences Act. Our demand is basically that these two sections must go. We demand an end to the criminalization of criticism and call on government to finish what the Kufuor administration started in 2001. We have called you here because a young Ghanaian, Kamila Al-Hassan, is at this hour in prison, sentenced yesterday, Thursday, the 16th of July, 2026, to 1 year with hard labor for a TikTok video. We say plainly, this should trouble every Ghanaian, whatever the is. Ms. Al-Hassan was convicted under Section 207 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act 1960. Quote, offensive conduct conducive to a breach of the peace, end quote. The police service has since indicated she will face a second prosecution under Section 76 of the Electronic Communications Act for the same underlying conduct. We, the minority, condemn both the prosecution and the conviction. A 1-year custodial sentence with hard labor for a social media post is not proportionate. It is not justice. It is a warning shot fired at every Ghanaian who owns a smartphone.
Osahene Alexander Fenomaka no ensi word send bi e kan say oka we no na onka say obia enko social media then onko fa pani bi no kodi na tem na onko fa man pani no osopa no minister bi na pani bi a ne nintini ni on na omo kebie wo mu bi na omo ebedi o matem o kire say onko fo pese onka wasem aka wasem responsibly enko ka say ne reckless statement bi na enko kan sem a uni ehu evidence bia and efa enchire say asem ye okay no kra na say nya no kra ndo chem say freedom of speech e wo honom no ntino amaya abuse no kra na emum say ye ka ya asem a yen ka ne yi obuo kwanso say na be ye ochine bi yen ko defame obi ana say obi enko fa mra no efa embetia nipa say ne waka asem bi etia we ana waka asem bi de tia we nti ye ba beche won to kire say obi a enye careful pa yes I say freedom of speech yen very very careful and very responsible.
Now, we are not saying that the repeal of this law should be a license for irresponsible speech. That is not what we are saying. We, the mighty minority, wish to completely be clear because this point will be misrepresented by those who prefer that the status quo. We are not asking anyone to tolerate falsehood, insult, or recklessness. We condemn irresponsible speech and irresponsible publication in all its forms, whoever is responsible for it, and regardless of which party that person supports. A citizen who is defamed, insulted, or misrepresented is entitled to redress, and Ghana already provides it. A private citizen may sue for defamation in civil courts. A journalist or a media house that abuses its platform can be held to account by the National Media Commission. What we object is the use of the prison cell and the criminal record as the first resort for free speech that merely offends or embarrasses, rather than the last resort for conduct that genuinely threatens a person's safety or the public peace. Let us be equally plain. Section 74 and 75 of the very same Criminal and Other Offences Act already punish a genuine threat to kill or harm another person, and nothing we are proposing today touches those provisions. Repeal is not indulgence, it is precision.
And senia ebrano bia kopiem abankese ma government accountability series ya aban no eya na soafobia na invite oba honma na ujumedi a udi no ebrano bia na no so waba update o manga na nyina na fa obi ehu dwumedi a odi our sector na ministry na waso ye honomo na obi anso aye aware ene ena minister for education so afọ no on ehwe ye adisua ho ensem so Haruna Idrisu nominafo kopie mu awo ehon ma no so ene so ne de so akopie mu no kire se enche bia ye school curriculum no ega kan ne JHS ana fake kindergarten no ye the new curriculum kra e de ba na we na e de eba no ye be introduce new subjects we sa subject woni coding e ka ho bi artificial intelligence AI technology hu nyama nyina to ye ba bisuam ene nkola ye sha ase e de free the basic no na se akwanu benyi no onim se na ye coding po eba na AI na ase na etumi use no enim se na use no kama pa na bibia so etumi akọ electronics enso ye kire ana fe TVET na ne insano djuma ani we nyina no ye de basic education hono ma ho ana ye sha ase e de free nya afi na nipa ne bebenyi akọ isuapon mu ansa na ogwakosua za TVET ne sa nyamanyema no e say na me no ka say de so okọ isuapon ahodo no ma hono ma na ye sua sa coding no ene ehon enkeka robotics na ade ka ho no so chiremu say sisia de research agenda no ye be sha ase ko adesua mu sema research agenda ne ejiremu gidigidi pa aban eni abre se ne enkola no no si so a wo yakola na ne ya sha ase na ye cherechew ye ma wonsano djuma ubenyi no na ye se wadwuma bobie papa na wo wonsano djuma bebrebe na onyansa so akosoro pa ye ba eti anu na edruso no nyamfo ne se ni be odi tu.
As I speak to you, one of the most significant decisions we took as government was to revise our education curriculum. And the agency responsible is NACA, the National Curriculum Review Agency. They were asked to revise our education curriculum from kindergarten to junior high school. I'm happy to note that on Wednesday, a revised curriculum for all people from kindergarten to junior high school will be presented formally to the Ministry of Education for onward submission to the President and for the policy to go to Cabinet and Parliament. The revision of our curriculum is to ensure smart start curriculum for greater integration of technology, science, engineering, and mathematics. We have promised to introduce coding, electronics, artificial intelligence, and TVET into the basic education.
Mayeto asam so na yesa enko Ghana imrahye bedwefie na APR report we no annual performance report we no eba abonten ebrana brilliant bia we annual progress annual progress report APR banabra no bia afi na afi bia no na yese eba abonten na commissioner omo yes report National Development Planning Commission NDPC omo na omo keka sa report ede etumu ebomu na afi omo de ho report ababonten eda braga na meche bidefie no mo so edi ehu ejuma na afi etwemu de 2025 de na aye ready kra NDPC for no omo so no omo apa ho ntoma omo de report omo de ehu report ne copy ni bi eda braga na meche de befie ede abre committee no ana ehwe economy and development eso na enum na committee no efre Ghana efre incentrofo ehye mu no mu ka che omo se enche bia no committee no ebe frefre MMDC DS ahodo ne metropolitan municipal assemblies ahodo no ana fe ministry department and agencies nyina no mo so amo aba na omo ba ne abeto ma no se target ayede omo nyeme bia omo ka se omo kwa akototo nyeme bia omo sanka omo nye omo aye ne sa pepepe se na esifa na ese ne fata ama mpuntuo ene se de ehwe no se omo so mbeye na aboaga na mpuntuo no omo tifa ye no so omo aye ara se omo anya omo target omo set ye so omo emiti target no omo exceed ana se omo endu target no kra na nti no chairman the Emma Economy and Development Committee no aso ye mmase bedwini mama form wo Amefi West Eric Afo ono ana di nsem ya tu do se we no ente bia wo ba be frefre na nje se ye kwan ya wo ebetete obi fa ho de se na emum ye kwan ya ye fa so na fe periperi ye etumi aye adwuma pa ye awo mamu ase.
This exercise marks an important milestone in Parliament's constitutional oversight responsibility and demonstrates our collective commitment to ensuring that public institutions remain accountable to the people of Ghana. Remain accountable to the people of Ghana. The APL is one of the most important national accountability instruments. It provides a comprehensive assessment of the extent to which, listen here, ministries, departments, agencies, MDAs for short, as well as metropolitan, municipal, and the district assemblies, MMDAs, have implemented government policies, programs, and projects, and results achieved with the resources entrusted to them by the Ghanaian taxpayer. Committee on Economy and Development will use the findings of the APL to engage all relevant institutions on their performance, achievement, challenges, budget utilization, and the measures being taken to improve service delivery. Friends from the media, this process is not intended to be punitive. Rather, it is designed to strengthen institutional performance, promote learning, identify policy gaps, and support evidence-based decision-making in Parliament. I wish to use this opportunity to formally invite all ministers, chief directors, heads of department, chief executive officers of agencies, and heads of MMDs, whose institutions fall within the mandate of the committee, to accord this exercise the highest priority.
For Kojo upon Nkrumah, a ranking member, our committee, so on one so yam of Fasa Redi, Emra Sebedrini, on also Edna Nudisem to just say.
Published and launched yesterday. We have seen it. It's been laid in Parliament. We have seen it. We are doing a background analysis. We're going to have these public hearings here so that you have an opportunity to also hear the responses from the various ministries, departments, and agencies. Now, why this is critical is that the people of Ghana, at the end of the day, want development. This is the committee responsible for development across board, not limited to one sector, across board. The people of Ghana are not just interested in who has misapplied or applied some money in a particular way that you get a public accounts committee. They want to also see what are the targets that we have set for ourselves as a country. What has the money done in terms of fulfilling those targets? So the last health hearing that we had, neonatal mortality is getting worse in Ghana. It's in the report. This is the committee where they have to come and answer questions for when you took the money to go and reduce neonatal mortality, have you succeeded or you have failed? Because if after taking the money for neonatal mortality, it has gotten worse, then we don't care about how many, is it chips, compounds, or whatever you built, but the outcome is getting worse. This is a committee where it happens. Ambulance response times is getting worse. So what is the reason? And then we are finding out that there's no dedicated budget for the running of the ambulance service. So this is where now you can make those interventions for development. We also just found out that in Ghana, we don't have a benchmark for what you call OPD response times. You hear people complaining that I go to the hospital, I sit there 1 hour, nobody has attended to me. This is the committee where we work with NDPC and the ministries to set a target for OPD response time. For example, in the area of health, so that now we can measure them year on year, whether it's getting better or it's getting worse.
Yonjira sansem we so na ye ntwa ye ho ekoja aboafo nkrato efa emra ye ba kase no da aka ne nyina no ye de beto aso e de ama menko ye bia ye basisi. Mamenda wase pa sida PSC medema se watwe yama yakwaja aboafo krato aba oguso a oti TV ho awodeda eda home based television yenubre ekasebo no eso ne abeje na kase no ye toa eso ede amawa na minister no ye minister for local government chieftaincy and religious affairs Olumunyan for Ahmed Ibrahim ono no de abasobode kese pa ede ama EMA ne Accra Mayor aha penipa ono aneda Accra Metropolitan Assembly ano na Accra Mayor so chese papa ne ebo no homode papa na ozi so hwe dwumedi a odi hwe omo revenues asisi ano menyan be oba abamu enche bia be 18 months memu na so no hwe dwumedi a papa yi edi a obo no homode papa afi se ne be ya ye ho disem ebetumi akọ enimpa ye sanitation no enso beja na so nti uja watototo ene that is akese ene hwe investment a odi area sanitation man oh na se papa no ebo no homode nti on de o chere ne se o hwe ni na kendi sem ne ekwa na leadership se ne ekwa na papa ne ebo no homode mpa ndo o se ni nkran so nkoso a na ombo ne juma dia bibia so entumi enkoye our Accra Metropolitan Assembly.
Working to deliver good services to the people they serve. I'm extremely delighted this morning seeing young Ghanaians working to deliver good services to the people they serve. Like the mayor has stated, he is not a man of many words, and he is flanked by hard-working directors and staff in the Accra Metropolitan area. We are here purposely to commission the trust that we see behind us. He has not been in office for a long period. He's been in office for only 18 months. And in these 18 months, we are here today to commission this sanitation equipment. I know this is not the only work he has done. As a local government minister, I see the panoramic view of all the 261 assemblies. The problems he inherited, I know. How the EMA account was damaged, I know. How judgment debt was engulfing them, I know. How he managed to pay even legal fees of lawyers EMA would not pay before he came to office. How he managed to be able to pay the legal fees of the legal officers, and how he managed to pay legal fees for the lawyers of the assembly, to organize them to face the legal challenges and cases that the assembly were confronted with, and to rescue the assembly from judgment debts, and to start paying some of the judgment debt that he inherited. And now AMA has been stabilized, has been rescued. The assembly is working together. And not only that, now they are procuring sanitation equipment. Sanitation being the main pain or the main problem of the Accra Metropolitan area. Clearly, the mayor and his team need to be commended. Today is a very
my trust on yanko atoye mantemo o mangana hanu mi say na oko no ma and the police command ewo honum we MTT the police for omo ewo honum sa bia atoye mantemo omo so omo di djuma pa na eka kase na be ya wo honum obetel nam kwanso ne wow amanfo class are na hodo na to de bi so na manajo obi wo honum ne car light na to edo so na wani nyina no nsuo na say ano eye dem papa no chemu say we nyina no eye to de bi a lights na say sirens bi a any kwan say omu yusuo na omu yusuo bi wo honum any kwan say oni ho kwan say wo say o yusu sa light no na sa siren never say ne car mu na so be wan say na amanfo bi to na say some car mu na omo kokwa esa some person mo contemporary nti omo person meja traffic mu nti omo de siren ahye mu I any kwa so mu fancy na do mu nemu na wow ye mo kwan no mu ntwem ebi won so an light na anu den eno no about standard that is no standard I was say light ne endu ne de na ebro sa ai no ha adwen pa enga ka o ye road user na so oba na so oso de to so are sa no den ye how a hwe ye kwa no bu wo ani ni kura na ekoto so sa na hwe bibi kura tumi esi na enya de akwansia e de aba na we man na penifo amo ka MTT the police MTT do omo no eje so mo nya bre pa a omo ye clamp down as operation a omo ye no omo de hwe no metu cars no omo a cheche sa cars na me no ka say de okopi mu ato ye mantemu nko a ma che cars baako ene 700 700 ana ye cars a omo tumi ache abo western region wo we nyina no omo a omo use sirens eni kwa so mu use lighter eni kwa so omo use na we na central ye ne say your church for any director the Emma the director for education research and training Emma Ghana Police MTTD onomoda for we ACP ACP Alexander Kweku Obenye ono so no oni central for edi nkoma o chese sa education be ko pese nkoma Ghana for nyante ase se wo sa e be hu no ye be che ka na mfa hu ne se we party ni se se wo de affiliate mfa hu unye obia o ni nyina no ye betumi achew ne aje ka ne ntino de sa akokobonsam no e de Ghana for nya se obi ahwe ye ade a yenga nsuma se kona koye no men koye light ahodo ne sirens ahodo eni kwa so mu use no ama mu use
the whole of Western region. We have impounded 700 vehicles. Out of it, about 7 beacon lights. Sorry, sirens have been impounded. It tells you of the gravity of the problem. So, we want to thank you, but use your medium to inform vehicle owners that their vehicles are supposed to be fitted with 2 headlamps, parking lights, and indicator lights, and at the back, brake light, reverse, and then parking. The only additional lights that we may want to see is the fog or spot or flat light, which is constructed with the vehicle. Any other light that tends to deliver aesthetic services to the owner, we don't want to see it. That delivers high beams from the roof of the vehicle, we don't want to see it. And those lights that are unlawful, that blinds others, we don't want to see it. And then sirens, if they are not permitted, we don't want to see it. Our experience, we have seen that some chiefs, some businessmen and women, some politicians, some theological entities and individuals are also part of this whole infraction. We are not sparing anybody, whether you are from a ministry, department, or agency, whether you are from Metropolitan Municipal District Assembly, or wherever you find yourself as public servant, from the informal sector, from the business subsector, from anywhere, please remove them before you hit the road. Otherwise, you will be part of these statistics. And that is what we have. So here, this work, henceforth, you will see the Western Regional Police MTTV Command, the Western Central MTTV Police Command, in Takoradi and in Takwa respectively, embark on this exercise on daily basis.
Yanko wie efisem no awo kente enwinimu no ana ntino openi kente limited or ni dia just so togbi goba tenge sedo ono aso me say so hwe kente ye o memu anu say dia ya dia ye kama pa na wo kama na iran pa nitino chemu say ye tumi ehemu kena pa wo memu anu say ma obia so etumi aye bia ma ban edi nani akosa bia ye ho no ma ya dia no so no wo ho no so oman so betumi nya na won so a ene ye be sho omumu kena no na omuso ma ye ejuma no so no omuso no omenya omuho se ya atam nto chemu say osra abansa aban bomode ana ofa nani enhwe kente industry Ghana kente industry no na so into me gyina sɛ na ɛbɛyɛ a betumi enya na yenya so
say that government don't encourage. When I came back from US in 2020, when I went to display to Wisconsin universities and so on and so forth, the greatest recommendation I made about the fabric, the local fabric, which is worn all over by great kings and queens, and preserved. Government was not interested. Wanted to project Kente as the final cloth for the Ghanaian and for that matter, Africa. We have waited for all this while for the Chinese to come and copy our design. It was only last year that Kente reached that great length, great height. That is, we had it done at the hotel here in Ghana. We feel ashamed. Beautiful, which should be won by our leaders, is hardly won these days. When I came back from US in 2020, when I went to display to Wisconsin universities and so on and so forth, the greatest recommendation I made about the fabric, the local fabric, which is worn all over by great kings and queens, and preserved. Government was not interested. Wanted to project Kente as the final cloth for the Ghanaian and for that matter, Africa. We have waited for all this while for the Chinese to come and copy our design. It was only last year that Kente reached that great length, great height by the World Project. That is, we had it done at the hotel here in Ghana. People came from Sweden and so to project the Kente Club as a world industrial property. Kente actually must be won by all Ghanaians, irrespective of where they are, because it is the only club admired by everybody and owns Kente Club. But I don't know whether we feel ashamed to wear our own things. The traditional Batakari, which was used mostly by Kwame Nkrumah in Parliament those days, all ministers were going to Parliament in Kente Club. But today, what do we see? Even to the common Batakari, which is so beautiful, which should be worn by our leaders, is hardly worn these days. I designed the NDC Batakari, I designed the MPP Batakari, one those days, but now they don't have to be for anything. I've been projecting it, Some years back, I wrote to the president to help us because with the COVID, everything collapsed. To help us with funding so that we can produce more patakari. Our patakari is exported to
Togbe Goba Tenge Sado, aha, no, so peace ambassador, they send me to us to say, and Kuko Accra High Court, judge, there's a was sentence, chairman to me 20 years. So, Uncle Demulesa illegal mining, no, and who instance, no, say, of what judge, no, so pa, judge, and I dear. It has a share illegal mining, idea, and yen, bomb mine, and into no so, Obia didn't who ever call for illegal mining, moon, I was saying to me, Trini Panasopa. No sa adia no enye nti no de obo judge na ba so awo sa kwan na ye de fast no so na o ka kire obia se e ga kan wo mo abemu so obia fa nye additional ade se ye de wo ekose di bia obehwe obedi wodwuma ne yie na nkofa ho enye ho na okonya ho tama na se okowia bibia na okoye bibia nsem fata na mum ejuma ye de ama no obetumi aye na waye ne yie.
On radio. It doesn't pay any good image of our country. Talking loosely. You can talk. The tongue is there for you. But talk with some kind of remorse. Be remorseful in whatever you say. If you make a mistake, say, I've made a mistake. This Galamsey thing has been there for too long. I know the president can order today, and Galamsey will be over in 1 month. Just send the soldiers there, as everybody has been saying. But at times, the willpower to do the right thing is not there. At times, the leaders who are with you, they will, this one, don't do it. That's where we get money from. That's why I say, let's do this policies by the state financing all these things. One to me, the lawyers too must be a bit cautious of what they say. As soon as the case goes to court, they start jumping. Oh, he hasn't done anything. They have to investigate the cases before they go to court. So let our lawyers also be cautious. What to me has been jailed. It's an example for the others. He deserves it. Because even when he was there, those days, everybody was protecting him. To be honest, we saw all that happen. Some of us, the kids and we went on demonstration. We went all over. We have seen the harm being caused. But today we are here still. So my appeal to the president, he holds the key.
Ne krakra mu no engineer Mark Anthony and Bia ono so no na ogopie mu awo kenteju medi ya se a oni e central for Osman Adam edi nkoma ono se na no disem etodwa.
Putting our tradition and custom to display. By virtue of his journey, you could see travel all the way to United Nations. Young Professor Awuno died, and made a steep way where even the president, the late president, Dr. Panukuma, have to wear kente with a wife, putting Ghana on the map. So I will appeal to the government that the budget given for assistance should be taken care of. If there's a new kente or kente cloth weavers, I think it will be a glory to the nation, so that we can save tradition. Tradition must be saved at all events. This is a cloth that is so important to even those politicians. And you see how God works. The president went to one of the African countries, and the exposure was there. Why then the government, through the Ministry of Culture, the Center of Culture Authority, promote this particular tradition, which we all cherish? So I will appeal to the government that
My ever if some ni say na ntwa ye ho bra ye ba e ba ko hwa ma no so ensi. Mayanko United Kingdom and the UK na ehonom so yanko hwede ekoso on ma manosem ayekọ so nyina no ekyerese enedi ana omoyi omo UK omo PM Prime Minister for kra no awo UK anedi ede Andy Benham ono aneye se 7th Prime Minister in a decade awo ehonom within the period of 10 years no ono na toso 7 awo UK omoyi no kra ene Oma power no ho entuma eda kire oman ni nyinaa mu no gya simpi na pass odi na no December to dwa na o kire se he obey dia ono dia odensem nampa na oba no nipa woni mu nyina oba beyi eda kire na se UK obi ho atono awo ho no so obebo adwuma pa na ne economy no etumi ejan na so pa na etumi akonanim se na be obi ho ebe henha no awo UK ho no o kire se confidence obenya awo nimu a omoyi no se ombeye Prime Minister Efa mom no bia enu ne ho da na mum oro de o sebo pa se oba bebo adwuma dikadika e de aboa se UK nso ebenya ne tomapa efra Mayafa sansema ye de ebesumu enenumre nyina no awo ye kasebo iso home based television nyina no e de ebesi anu se media mejo on Steven owuso kwaten ye wie no so ebo no otwe ebo a nsem ketekete abwajewa ya no ba ebetena se na odini nya so no ede abra tetemuchuku na hwe adwumadi aka ni nyina no na efa emayen Africa se no so ukọ www.homebasetvga.com ansem no dodo na de ka ho nya so atro gu on ma obenya bi so na makenka ma mo ene hwa obuja